Hey, hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's your girl, LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. Always excited to share things you can do to work on your money, marketing, and sales goals too, with strategy and intention. So, we are on day 28 of these position to profit conversations. I've been taking you inside of the PTP position to profit self assessment so we can talk about different things that you can do to grow your business. And as we go into the final days of this series, my focus is on power words, words that honestly I feel like are so essential for you to think about when it comes to your mindset and your movement as a strategic and an intentional entrepreneur. So far, we've explored the words focus. And yesterday we talked about consistency. So for today, day 28 of Position to Profit, I want us to dig into the word build and building your best. So, as always, feel free to share this out. Sharing is caring. That's what it's all about. You can tag your business besties who also want to figure out how to work on positioning themselves for profit, monetization, marketing, and sales this year. And of course, if you're catching me on the replays side, remember, you can always drop into the comment box hashtag replays. All right, y'all. So let's do this. Let's rock out. I always mention to you that Position to Profit, the self assessment number one, is available to you for free over at SizzleSense.com. That's me, SizzleSense.com/PTPSA, number one. And number two, the self assessment is divided into 6 sections. Each section has 5 questions, right? So right now we're digging into the questions around power words. And for every question, you answer yes or no. Every time you give yourself a no, you give yourself 5 points. The more points you have, the more you see what you need to strategically and intentionally work on, right? So today, our question is as follows. Yes or no? Do you struggle with building your best offers and your customer base? One, two, both, right? Let me know, yes or no. Do you struggle with building your offers, your best offers, and building your customer base? So I'm going to share 3 other words to go with the build word today. And the first of those is update. By the way, welcome, welcome. My girl Levon is in the virtual building. Feel free to say hey, 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 and let me know who you are and your business title too, whether you're watching live or via the replays. So the first of these other words in connection with building is update, right? I believe that one of the ways that you can work on creating your best offers and growing your customer base is really by not so much I was about to say manifesting, mastering your craft. And in order to master your craft, you've got to work on getting better at the things that you put out there, right? So to be clear, one of the ways you can do that is simply by, before you create something new, go back to something that you've previously created and update it, make it better for you, for your customers too. That's going to help you with growth, right? On so many levels. So I said to you that I actually updated the Position to Profit self-assessment. If you grabbed it last year, this year's free version is updated. It's fabulous. It's got 30 questions versus the original. And it's got 6 sections now versus the original that was divided into 4 sections. So there's so much more for us to dig into as part of the experience. And I was talking to a client actually yesterday, because yesterday I do my clarity calls. And she said, you know what, there's so many things that I feel like I wanted to do last year that I didn't accomplish. And I want to check in with you so you can help me gain some clarity around building better routines. And one of the things I said was, let's identify those things that you want to accomplish. And on her list, one of the top things was updating, right? Something in particular that she had created, an offer she produced before. So when we talk about different power words that I want you to explore when it comes to figuring out your focus when it comes to being consistent at growing and building your best business, updating the things that you've already produced, not throwing them aside, ignoring them, and just always constantly coming up with something new, but mastering your craft, loving what you've previously produced, making those previous offers better is one of the top things that you have to do. Number one. Number two, remember the question today is, do you struggle with building your best offers and also building your customer base, right? Got to update some of those things that you created before, right? Master that, making them better, improving them, working on them, loving them enough to know that it's not just rinse, off to the next thing, wash it away and then it's off to the next thing. Making it better, bringing it back is important. Number two, the old first. Now I can talk to you about the new. When it comes to new offers, baby, you got to put it out there. You got to put it out there. This is for those of you who you've been sitting on your greatness for way too long, right? Either, your little, really small snowflake of an idea has become this snowball that's become overwhelming and too many parts for you to figure out where to start or how to finish. Or you just really are in a space where you look at it and you think it's great, and then you look at it again and you want to make it better, and you want to make it better, and you want to make it the best possible offer that you could possibly put out there. But to be clear, in order for you to get it to where it is your best, you got to test, which means that if you still are sitting on it, working on it, over deliberating on it, you got to put it out there. So those things that you want to become your best, they have to be released, right? And so I want you to think about that. Number one, what, if any, if it's just one thing that you need to update, improve, work on to make better. Or number two, it's possible that you are in a place where you want to create the perfect product, but you're spinning your wheels on it, right? You do have to test it. You do have to put it out in some form, in some way, right? And for those of you who say, it's not quite done yet, it's got all these parts and pieces, I need you to break off a piece, right? Remember that break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar? Break off a piece. Create something that in its entirety is sufficient enough to release. Work on that. Then you can expand it, you can enhance it, you can do all the things, but you got to release it. You got to put it out there. You got to complete some iteration of it, and then you can make it larger than life. Okay. I talk about how every year at the start of the year, I do my Firestart Your Year experience in person as well as virtual. And the reality of it is, in order to create something that I know my clients love and that I love to do, I've got to, number one, I got to put it out there, right? I got to put it out there. And then number two, I always have to work on updating it, improving it, right? So that it's what I need and it's what my clients need, right? Because this is about you putting your best out there. And if you got to be in a place where you work on that, right? So when it comes to, again, for me, just some preliminary word or initial words to understanding the concept of working on building your best offers and building your customer base, understanding the importance of updating your offers, understanding the importance of not spinning your wheels and sitting on your greatness, but finding some form of what it is that you're trying to do to complete it and release it so you can test it and improve it. Something you got to do, right? Putting it out there, completion better than perfection, right? And then for me, growing your customer base, repetition. And when you're a creative person and you've got a lot of ideas, repetition honestly is one of those things that it's like, oh, it's like I could quickly create something new. I don't need to do that over, or it didn't work. Okay, let me just scrap it and kind of go in a completely different direction. Repetition is actually really, really difficult for creatives to master, but it's something that is very important because while you will find that every now and again you'll have impulse buyers, they see what you have and they like it, they grab it, and they're good to go. In order for you to build something consistent, most relationships you're going to have with customers and clients are going to require them to get to know you. And in order for them to get to know you, right, it's going to take some repetition. They're going to have to see your things more than once, more than twice, more than thrice, right? Hey, welcome, welcome. And in order for you to build your best offers, you've got to learn how to comfortably, consistently talk about the things that you've created constantly. And a lot of entrepreneurs who don't necessarily feel the most comfortable when it comes to talking about themselves, talking about their products, talking about and the same thing over and over again, raise your hand if any of those things relate to you, right? Repetition is something that this year, baby, you're gonna have to work on it. Okay. Because again, not everybody is going to be that body that immediately jumps on what you've got. A lot of people come to me and say, girl, I've been following you for years. I'm ready now. Right. Even though they ready now, I always got to be ready. I always got to stay ready, right? Because there's always somebody who's ready. And that consistency, that power word that we talked about yesterday, consistency, in order for you to do that, that word repetition has to be a part of that. Some of y'all go, whoo, I talked about that twice. I've been talking about this one thing for like 3 days now. They tired of me talking about that. They tired of seeing my face. I can't do that no more. Baby, I've been telling you about position to profit for 30 days. Well, let's be clear. This is day 28, right? 28 to 30 days. I've been saying, did you get your position to profit self-assessment yet? Right? You've got to be consistent. You've got to repeat, and you've got to find ways to enjoy what you do in a way that repetition doesn't bother you. And when I say that, I mean, too often people go, well, I don't want to say it again because it's stale, it's overdone, they heard it before, I'm boring, there's everybody else is doing something fresh and new. Baby, the Bible was, it's forever will be the greatest book of all time. And that was written a long time ago. We read it, and then we read it, and then we read it again, and then we go tell our children to go and read it. Hello? Yes? Yes? So stop thinking that you're outdated, you're boring, they're tired of you, because you ain't Oprah. Right? Not yet, anyway. Your version of whoever you want to be. So let's be clear. Not everybody has heard what you had to say. And some of the bodies who heard it need to hear it again. Okay? Okay. So I said to you, for the next couple of days, we're talking about power words that if you work these words can result in you making the right power words for you and, of course, your business too, right? We so far have talked about the words focus, consistency, and today it's all about building. And what I wanted to do was to really just kind of check in with you and simply say, in order to build your best offers, in order to build your customer base, you've got to get comfortable with the following things: updating offers that you worked on so that you can master your craft and make them better, right? You've got to get better at just putting out offers and stop sitting on stuff. Stop researching stuff. Stop procrastinating and trying to overly perfect stuff. You can't know it's your best until you test. So you have to put more of your stuff out there. And to be clear, in order to build a real sustainable customer base, whether it's big or small, right? In order to build something that's real for you and your business too, you have to get comfortable with the word repetition. When it comes to putting your stuff out there, when it comes to putting your business out there, when it comes to marketing, when it comes to digging into your craft and knowing that you're not just going to jump on every fad, every business, every new social media, what, blah, blah. You're going to do the things that WWW, work what works for you. And you won't know what works for you until you get into a place where you do the consistency enough, the focus enough, the practice enough, the improvement enough, the repetition enough. When I was young in this entrepreneurial game, I used to see folks say things and I'm like, oh, they always saying the same thing. They always saying the same thing. I didn't realize that you get to a point that with age comes wisdom, and that wisdom comes in the repetition. When you really master and you know what the hell you talking about, you don't always have to say a different thing. Or you don't always have to say a new thing. You get better at saying the same things in ways that hit differently. Feel me? Okay, hopefully you do. So, all right, y'all, that's all that Raquel says, okay. Good stuff. Good to see you here, my dear. That is all that I got to say today. This is me signing out. Nia Soul says it was so much easier years ago, right? It's a new year, new world, different world, right? I needed this. Amen. Mwah, so good to have you here. Everybody is always here in divine right timing. As they say, when the student is ready, the teacher is here. So you are here at the right time. Raquel says, how are you always right where I am? I was thinking I have posted this. I have talked about this before after I added the content today. Because it hits, right? You know, you're like, ugh, they tired of hearing that. No, baby. Keep doing what you do. Master your craft. That's what you got to do so you can work on building your best. Building your best. All right, y'all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. As always, I am here every day for you to bring that fire, 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 fire. So don't forget, turn on alerts and notifications so you can see when I'm live, so you can jump on here live with me for that dose of clarity. If you've enjoyed today, tap, 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 tap on the hearts and the likes. Give me some love today, okay? And feel free to share this out. So yeah, this is day 28. I am signing out. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another day with me inside of our Position to Profit series. Of course, as always, remember, if you didn't get it yet, go grab your Position to Profit free self-assessment, sistasense.com/PTPSA. And if ever you need to check in with me, just email sistasense@gmail for your little dose of clarity. All right, y'all. Take care.